Streak is over, Susan Lucci!
Susan Lucci originated the role of Erica Kane on All My Children.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Susan Lucci. I got all teared up again.
Me too. What a great
Every time I
moment.
see it, it just knocks me out.
Oh, thank
We were
you
there
so
that
much.
night when you got the Emmy.
Yeah.
You were actually there?
Yeah, we were in the room.
Oh.
The streak is over. It was a great moment.
And I thought he was. I thought Shamar was so charming, but I thought he was announcing sports playoff scores because we were in the garden that night.
Right.
Yeah,
Remember
right,
that
yeah.
time?
Well, you know, Susan, your fans are here. They're everywhere, and they miss you. We have great news for all your fans. She's back. And tomorrow, you're taking the stage until March 23rd alongside Kathy Moriarty, Tonya Pinkins, and Judy Gold in the play that I wrote, My First Ex-Husband.
Yes.
So tell them, I'm curious. I mean, I know why I wanted you to do it. Why did you want to do it?
Well, just the title alone. I thought this is fun. I love to do comedy, and it's Joy Behar.
Funny. I saw you, Susan, in Celebrity Autobiography. You were hilarious. I said, get that girl.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you'll be wonderful. I can't wait to see what you do with the
Oh,
parts.
thank you so much. I saw what you did. I was there opening night when they opened. It was fantastic.
So
You're doing the one that I did, which is about this oversexed husband. It's hilarious. You love it. Yeah.
Susan, I have to say, we know you were there opening night because Alyssa had walked in and she had to sit somewhere and someone's like, oh my God, Alyssa's sitting next to Susan Lucci.
I literally
We're all going
sat
down
next
the
to you,
aisle.
and I didn't realize it till I did. I was like, oh my goodness,
I
it's
remember
Susan.
seeing you there.
We were staring down the
was an
road and everyone's
honor.
like, Susan Lucci's down there. So it was really cool for all of us. But My First Ex-Husband is full of great stories. We've all witnessed them now with a different cast. But love, lust, leaving, it's hilarious and emotional. There's a lot of emotion there. But what are your monologues about specifically?
Well, one is what Joy said, this oversexed husband, and it's just me, you know, all the time. So that's one of them. And the other one is they're just very, very different people. They want different things. Everything is different. So it's
I
probably
think you're doing the one that had an affair with a certain unusual type of person.
that too.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
I remember that
Thanksgiving.
one.
It's pretty
That
funny.
was a good
Yeah,
one.
exactly. I just don't want to give too much away.
Yeah,
No, don't
I
give
want you to
away.
come and see.
That's a good one. Well, My First Ex-Husband isn't your first time on stage. You made your Broadway debut in Annie, Get Your Gun in 1999. How did that opportunity come up?
Oh, that was really something. It was after I won the Emmy. I was on the cover of a couple of magazines, and one was Cigar Aficionado. And the Weislers, the producers of Annie Get Your Gun and Chicago, had seen the article. I was asked what would I still like to do, and I mentioned, you know, I grew up in New York. I'd love to be on Broadway. That's where my dreams were. And they asked me would I want to go in and replace Bernadette Peters in Annie Get Your Gun. And I mean, you know, I was thrilled when my agent called me, but I had never had a singing lesson. I had never had any professional, and I had not been on Broadway. And anyway, so I said yes, but I knew I'd have a lot of work to get there. But Marvin Hamlish had been so generous to me. I had worked with him a number of times, but not singing, just other stuff. And he said to my husband and me, if you ever need my help, give me a call. Well, I was way too shy to call Marvin Hamlish, but my husband was not. So he called Marvin Hamlish and told him what was in the offing, and Marvin Hamlish said, oh, he said, I will see Susan. I'll see how she can sing. I'll let her know if she can do this, if I think she can do this. He said, I'm coming home from a European tour on a Sunday night. Why don't you come to my apartment on Sunday and sing for me?
Sure.
Can you imagine
So
what a
you
good
did
guy
that.
that is?
And
And so we went to his apartment, standing outside Marvin Hamlish's door, and ringing the doorbell was one of the scariest things I ever did in my life. And he opened the door, and there were all his awards. He's, you know, Emmys, Tonys, Oscars, everything. And I went in, and his lyricist was there. And Marvin and his lyricist asked me to sing. His lyricist played, Marvin watched. And after I sang through all the music, Marvin said, I'm going to go to the way back of my apartment. It was one of those pre-war buildings.
Yeah.
And he said, I want you to sing for me.
Oh.
And I think he wanted to know
my
if I could
gosh.
project.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
Without a microphone?
Yeah, just in his apartment.
Yeah.
And so he came back afterwards and he said, you can do this. He said, you can do this if you want to. He said, you're very brave. Tall, you're not.
Tiny but fierce. Well, All My Children aired its finale in September 2013 after 43 seasons. And you played the magnificent and villainous Erica Kane in every one of them.
Like she's 20.
Yeah, the same. And you and some of your All My Children family did a talk with Andy Cohen at the 92nd Street Y last month when you think back on all the storylines, which that's a lot. But which ones were the most fun to do?
I mean, for me, really, the modeling all over New York City.
Yeah.
And some of my best acting. Because it was December. I would be on
Oh my God.
these little
Great.
tiny dresses on top of that was the
Look
Met.
at you.
Yeah.
It
Unbelievable.
was so much fun. But I'd be on top of the fountain in front of the plaza. And it was December. And I was in a little tiny dress, and the men were selling chestnuts on Fifth Avenue below me. And I'm thinking, they have 3 parkas on, and I'm here, you know. But it was fun. I loved every minute of it. And the Met. I was at the Met last week. I love the Met. I just love it. Yeah. And I happened to go by this grand staircase for the first time since we shot there. And when we shot there, the producer at the producer at the time, Jackie Babin, said, "Okay, Susan, I want you to come to the top of the stairs, center, turn, and I want you to run down the center of the staircase."
You in heels?
Oh, sure. And I had a long white gown on and a matching stole. She said, I want you to, excuse me, son, to hold your arms out so we can see the stole. And I said, okay. And I did it. And the last week when I was there and I looked at that grand staircase, I thought, oh my God, I would never do that.
You're a trooper.
Very quickly, I want to ask, because February is American Heart Month, and we know cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in women. You've been an advocate for heart health after your experience, 2 different events in 2018 and 2022. Why did you want to share your experience? Why is it so important to use your voice?
Thank you for asking that. I couldn't help but tell my story. I was magnetized to put it forward. I was so lucky. So lucky I avoided the widowmaker by going to the hospital because I had this pressure. I'm shortening this story, but the takeaway for me was I was really lucky, and I couldn't pass on the specifics of that good luck, but I could pass on a takeaway, which is we as women in particular, we are taking care of our children and our homes and our husbands, our people that we love, our careers, and we have a big to-do list. Yeah. Put yourself on that to-do list. Yeah. Because I was reluctant to call a doctor. I didn't want to disturb him. That's another thing that we as women do. I kept thinking, oh, I'll wait a while, it'll go away. Yeah. Well, the doctor said, come to the ER, I'll meet you there. You have substantial symptoms, and he did a CAT scan. It turned out I had a 90% blockage in my main artery, a 75% blockage in the adjacent. And he said, if you didn't come in, if I had been home, I would have said, oh, I need to have a glass of water. I'll have some water, I'll lay down, I'll be fine.
You would have been dead.
Yeah. He said, you avoided the widowmaker. You wouldn't have woken up.
Well, I'm so glad
that's
you
the
did.
story in a nutshell.
Look at her now.
So glad you did.
Fabulous.
Our thanks to La Lucci. Go and see her on stage in My First Ex-Husband starting tomorrow night at the Manhattan Movement and Arts Center Theater. Go to our website to find out all the information. And members of our studio audience, you've been so good. You're so good looking. You're each going home with a pair of tickets to see Joy